Hi friends, welcome to Invited Back with Sabbath Kapahu. My hope for our time together today is that you will find a sacred space of solidarity here and a reminder that you are not the only one. You are never alone. Today I wanted to talk about something that I learned from a book this week I'm reading called Indistractable. But before I dive into that quick tidbit of wisdom, what's fascinating about this book is it's written by an author. His name is Nir Eyal, who also wrote a national best-selling book called Hooked: How to Build Habit-Forming Products. But the title of this book, Indistractable, continues to read How to Control Your Attention and Choose Your Life. Here is what I wanted to focus in on for today. Mind matters. What we say about ourselves is vitally important. And here's the thing that really struck me. He said, you don't have to believe everything you think. I'm going to say that again. You don't have to believe everything you think. I think there's something so powerful that in the space to say that, yes, I'm thinking this about myself, but it might not be true, or I don't have to believe it. So we try to live up to these values, right? We set our values, we write them down, we review them daily. Our decisions every day are shaped by these values that we hold, but sometimes the actions that we have don't line up to that, or sometimes even the things that we believe about ourselves don't line up to our values. So what can we do when our triggers are pulled and we've started to spend time on the things that don't line up, and we start dwelling on the thoughts that aren't true about ourselves? I mean, there's so many ways to combat the reality that we are distracted and that we are pulled in so many different directions, and then at so many times throughout the day and throughout the week and in our seasons of life, it feels like we are out of control of our own attention, that we don't have a choice about what's happening in our lives because we are looking at everything around us that is seemingly out of control, and we are saying, what do I do next? Now, friends, I don't really have an answer. I'm sorry to say that I don't think there's one thing that we can do. And everybody's story is so different. But the reality is that we are all facing thoughts in our mind, and what we're thinking about matters. So what we can do is be deliberate about what we're thinking. What we can do is reimagine our capabilities and set habits and triggers that will push us into what we're capable of. We can plan time for play so that we don't feel guilty when we're playing. Because he also says in his book, which I really love, is the time you plan to waste is not wasted time. If you've planned to set aside an hour to binge watch one of your favorite shows, it's not wasted time. You planned for it. I think it's so easy to believe that if we're doing something pleasurable, we're wasting our time. But the reality is, especially for the mamas, we need to plan that time to be wasted, and then you're actually giving life back into yourself. It might not be a show. It might be a run. It might be reading. It might be whatever it is that you feel a little bit guilty about doing because there's so many other things that you could be doing. But if you've planned for that, it is not wasted time. What we say about ourselves is vitally important, and you don't have to believe everything you think. The struggle is so absolutely real against our own selves, isn't it? I daily am having to combat some of the things that I learned growing up from the people that I thought, were supposed to take care of me, and the people that I trusted. But, the reality is we're all just doing our best. And just because somebody is in a position of leadership over you, or just because somebody is supposed to take care of you, it doesn't always mean that they will. And that in and of itself is a hard space to navigate. And sometimes, especially when we're in our formative years of life, we just believe everything that everyone's telling us. And so when we finally find ourselves in a space of rethinking the things that we believe, rethinking what's true about ourselves, then we kind of have to say, wait a minute, maybe I don't believe that, and it's okay. And so what does that mean for who I am now? What are my values? And how are they being shaped by the things that I do every day? And how are the things that I do every day being shaped about what I believe about myself? My quick and simple encouragement to us this week is to just be aware. Be aware of what's happening in your mind. Sit with it, share it with somebody, and then take a step of courage and say, wait a minute, I don't have to believe that. And insert something in there that you do want to believe and that aligns with your values. Friends, the struggle is real, and you are absolutely not alone. Until next time, aloha.